sitting out there? Can they hear what we're saying? Yeah, probably should just lock the door.
Apex Pros, Apex Pros, Apex Pros, Apex Pros, Apex.com.
Looking for the perfect Ohio State gift? College Traditions has you covered with over 2,000 Buckeye items in stock. Shopping for a diehard fan or need some spirited scarlet and gray stocking stuffers? College Traditions is your go-to Buckeye store, located on West Lane Avenue next to Varsity Club, or shop online at collegetraditions.com.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
News Radio 610 WTVN Columbus, WTCHD2 Asheville, an iHeart radio station, guaranteed human.
From ABC News, I'm Wayne Cabot. Holiday week travel is off to a good start at the airports. Delays are half what they were yesterday. Nice surprise for Rita Stadler on a short line at Newark Liberty.
Usually at the holidays it's busier, TSA is more backed up, there's more air traffic control delays and stuff, but we had none of that this morning.
Flight Aware at this hour showing 99% of U.S. flights are on time with very little bad weather today. That's going to change tonight and tomorrow on the West Coast when more rain moves in. For every one person traveling by plane for the holiday, 12 will be on the roads, says AAA. It says to avoid the worst traffic, try to be off the roads by 10 or 11 in the morning. That'll be true from now till Christmas Eve, and then again from the day after Christmas right through the 30th. Americans say the top issue for the government to address next year is health care. 4 in 10 say so in a new AP poll. Yesterday, 9 drug companies announced discounts on drugs sold to the government and to Americans. In exchange, the White House promises them tariff relief and faster FDA reviews for future approvals. The number 2 official in the Justice Department tells ABC News there has been no effort to redact President Trump's name from the partially released Epstein files. Less than half files were released by yesterday's deadline. A lot of what was released was blacked out by the Justice Department. Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche says no famous names are deliberately being held back.
President Trump has certainly said at the beginning that he expects all files that can be released to be released, and that's exactly what we're doing.
Rob Reiner's old movies are getting new life at select theaters, from Baltimore to Plymouth, Massachusetts to Glendale, Arizona. One chain has been screening his films for $5. Arraignment for Nick Reiner for his parents' deaths is now set for January 7th. He's being held in Los Angeles on 2 counts of first-degree murder. You're listening to ABC News.
Ohio's governor signing Senate Bill 56 into law, which bans intoxicating hemp. The governor also got rid of a special part in that bill which would have allowed for THC drinks.
There's 90 days until the bill goes into act. So for right now, we saw this happen before when he had done the executive order, and it kind of sent everything into a mass craze as far as purchasing went, because there's a lot of consumers out there who, this is their beverage of choice, for occasion. And so, for us, we'll obviously, we want to make sure we were able to fulfill that demand. And
Bobby Slattery is founder of 50 West Brewing out of Cincinnati. They make the Sunflower Seltzer. The CEO of Great Lakes Brewing telling Cleveland.com he's disappointed. Same with a statement from the Ohio Restaurant and Hospitality Alliance. It is unclear if there's enough support among state lawmakers to override the governor's veto. And former Cleveland police officer Timothy Lohman was fired Friday from a job as an armed ranger for the Snowshoe Resort Community District in West Virginia. Lohman was fired from Cleveland police for lying on his job application. He's not been able to keep any law enforcement jobs for which he's been hired after it came out that he shot and killed 12-year-old Tamir Rice. Attorney Subodh Chandra, representing the Rice family, says that Tamir's mother is not giving up her fight to make sure Lohman never wears a badge again.
She is still determined the rest of her life to be a voice for her son, to try to hold Lohman and his fellow officer Garnback accountable. But that is not born of anything other than a mother's determination to seek and maintain justice. That looks good,
John. Reports out of West Virginia say that Lohman was also hired recently as a county deputy sheriff. Shonda says that county's sheriff is not saying anything about Lohman's status with his agency. I'm Jack Crumley.
Your latest news, traffic, and weather.
If you're not informed, then you're out of the loop.
All you have to do is ask.
Play 610 WTVN on iHeartRadio.
All right, here we go.
Meet Greg Taylor of LegacyRetirementGroup.com.
The plan determines the positions we hold. And that's so important because the plan is essentially helping you achieve whatever it is you want to achieve, whether it's being able to just pay your bills, hang out with your family, or whether it means travel. I mean, everybody's why for retirement is a little different, but the way we invest should be based upon what it is we're trying to achieve.
More next hour on 610 WTVN.
In real estate, it's location. In Medicare, it's local. I'm Kristen Troche with Shields Up Health, a licensed independent agent right here in our community. I help seniors navigate Medicare with plans that fit their doctors, medications, and lifestyle. Don't risk calling an 800 number and ending up with the wrong coverage. Plans are changing for 2026, and some are even leaving our area. Visit shieldsuphealth.com today. That's shieldsuphealth.com, your local trusted Medicare resource.
Not affiliated with the federal Medicare program. By contacting Shields Up Health, you will be connected to a licensed insurance agent. This is an advertisement for insurance.
See an accident? Let us know at the Curtis & Associates Traffic Tip Line at 821-1111. Curtis & Associates. Trust and experience of attorneys who care.
Christmas week is upon us. The stockings are hung on the fireplace with care, knowing the big guy will soon be there. Big Ed in his tree looking for deer, while JC and I, we're just happy to be here. Yeah. It's a time for anticipation and celebration, and a time to reflect on the year. And for the low-life's despicable idiots who call themselves Indivisible Central Ohio, well, let me tell you what they're doing today. As we speak, at this moment, at the Home Depot on Sawmill Road, they're trying to disrupt a lawful business during the busy holiday season to protest the legal apprehension of thugs in our society. Don't believe me? This is directly from their communication to their followers this week. Listen to this. Join us in a buy-in action that has been successfully implemented across the country. We want you to come in large groups. We'll line up to make the same small purchase. Ice scrapers are a great idea here, under $1. And then line up again and return them. And then do it again to clog up their system. We will hand out a list of alternative hardware stores to the customers who are shopping and are disrupted, along with information about Home Depot's complicity. Bring $2 in cash so that the purchases and returns take a long, long time. Merry Christmas, enjoy the holidays, get ready for a wild 2026. On Target, it's next.
Live from LAPD Firearms Range and Training Facility, this is On Target, the latest from the firearms industry, the products and politics that affect your hobby and liberty. This program may not be politically correct, but it is On Target. Now, your host, Eric Delbert.
Good afternoon, welcome to On Target. We're broadcasting live from the studios of LAPD Firearms Range and Training Facility that's located at 999 Bethel Road. JC, we should walk over to Home Depot.
Right, that's what we should do.
Now,
I'm trying to figure out a way. I think watering. They should turn on their sprinkler system outside in front of the building. I think that would be a good idea.
Well, John, this is just in. I'll talk about late breaking. Just came across my phone. If you want to be a part of these, I'm saying good or bad and stuff, this same group, Indivisible Ohio, we're going to dive a little bit into them more. They are really despicable here in Central Ohio. But this Monday, December 22nd, they have ICE protest training on Bethel Road. Help them train ICE protest training. It's ridiculous what they're. You and I both share something in common today. You probably don't know what. You probably don't know what. Got guns for Christmas. Oh, got guns for Christmas. SIG, and I'm going to butcher the name, maybe an MRO. I don't know what it was, John, but the sticker on it was $100.
$800.
But so that happened this week.
For our employees.
I think some people
who's more excited about
here.
it than I was is when I showed my wife the picture in the sky. She goes, "This is going to be great for the purse that you're going to buy me that we have here for the concealed carry purses." And she said,
"She's already
thank you."
boobs.
Oh no, she already snapped it up, and I have not even seen it yet. Hasn't even been haven't even received permission from the government to own it. But so she's going to come in and buy a purse because she said her other ones needs an update. So
perfect. Well, guys, we're the owners of LEPD Firearms Range and Training Facility and are active in law enforcement. But for 1 hour on Saturdays, we put together a group of firearm experts to discuss new products in the market, training tips, and oftentimes political topics surrounding the Second Amendment. Our commitment, though, has always been to bring you facts about our industry, help listeners and customers with safe, responsible ownership of firearms. We got to thank our guest last week for calling in. My buddy Richie, who called in, gave us a little preview on the Glock Gen 6, kind of neat. Got to thank the big guy for calling in. Always good to hear from Santa himself.
Santa.
So we had to thank him for calling in. And then for this week, geez, John, we got, every week I say the same thing. It's a packed show. We have some news coming up, and then at 12:20, our good friend Caleb is calling in from a company you might not have heard before called Infitac. They have an optic. It looks like an optic. It looks like a red dot.
It looks like a red dot.
But it's thermal. And it's not horrible on price. And it works.
It looks great. We have one on a fake firearm here, so it's fake. Anyone watching this, it's just a stock. But this is exciting.
So he's calling in at 12:20. We're going to talk to him a little bit about the product line, the company, and then at 12:30, if it wasn't enough, Senator Husted's checking in. So he is on the move, and I think he's taking time out. I think he's in D.C. today, but they said, we can see if we can call in for a minute and stuff.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah,
one of 100, one of our senators. And
so much going on. Of course, that voice you hear is JC to the left. JC, one other thing from our Christmas party this week, all the employees got the little knife. What'd you think of the little engraved knife from CNS Engraved?
Oh, I have mine right here. So I absolutely love it because I admired the one that you have, which is a little bit big. This is just perfect pocket size, and the blade length, you're allowed to show that on. But it's like
just a little tiny.
Yeah, it's just like that big, and it's just great for opening things. It fits in your pocket. I like that thickness of the handle. Sharp as a razor.
And
touch mine up a little bit, make it even sharper.
And our friends over at CNS took care of us on that.
CNS did that.
Yep.
Engraved with our names.
There you go. And what else do we have here? Of course, Ella. Ella, how are you today?
Good. How's everyone there?
Good. Are you still spunky? Last week you were a little bit like, hitting the eggnog, I think.
Now I'm too tired.
Oh, yeah, okay. All right. We got the little subdued Ella today. You ready for Christmas, though?
Getting there.
Yep.
I'm close.
Yeah, us too.
We'll be ready in about 6 or 7 days, right?
That's right. Ready or not. Guys, I'd like to thank our sponsors, U.S. Law, Shield, Jackson Egress Windows, River's Edge Cutlery, Blackwing Shooting Center, and, of course, LEPD Training Facility, all who make the show possible each week. If you missed this show, and this time of year, I know it's hard to sit down and listen to it all the time live, but if you missed the show, we're out there on podcast. All the shows are out there. Ella does a great job of putting them out there almost immediately after the show itself. Facebook, YouTube, great place to watch the show, and you can go out there as well and see the past shows and also some of the past monologues. And what else, JC? JC, I think it's news time. What you got?
Unfortunately, there is a ton of news. We're not going to be able to get to it, but there's some very, very important stuff happening. The big thing is, and it just happened this week, matter of fact, just a few days ago, the two separate federal circuit courts gave rulings on illegal immigrants, and they are protected by the Second Amendment, but they can't own guns. How about that? That's my kind of law. So how does that work? Yes, exactly. So there were two panels. They threw judge panels on the appellate court before they go en bloc if that happens. One's in the 10th, which is over kind of Wyoming, Colorado, Utah, in that area. There's 6 states in that circuit, but the 6th circuit is ours. I mean, it's Michigan, Ohio, and they gave the panels, all 6 judges, 3 on each panel, gave unanimous rulings on this, and they agreed that the government can blanket disarm anyone in the country without proper documentation. So that was surprising because, I mean, some were made up of Obama appointees and a lot of Democrats, but that's what they found. Judge Veronica Rossman of the 10th Circuit, this case was called U.S. versus Duke Ramirez. She goes, in sum, even Mr. Ramirez belongs to the people protected by the Second Amendment, but the government has carried its burden of showing in the United States Code that it fits within our tradition of firearms regulation. A principle emerges from allegiance laws identified by the government. Individuals presumed to be loyal to a foreign sovereign who failed to follow the processes described by law may be disarmed. So that's a lot of folks there. That was in the one ruling. In the Sixth Circuit, was very definitive on who these people were. This person, it was the Escobar Tomorrow. They said, based on the records, they are sufficient records to make him part of the people. So he is part of the people. But when examining the historical record, Judge Starts said there is a tradition of restricting certain groups from owning guns, even if they are part of the people. And instead of saying illegal aliens, her term was unlawfully present individuals, is the term that was used in the hearing. But does indicate that unlawfully present individuals to be armed could be dangerous because such individuals can more easily circumvent our laws. And so the rationale, well-founded in the nation's history tradition, and so those both were found. The one I liked the best, though, and it was on our circuit, he agreed. All of them agreed they could be, but he was even more straightforward, and he was the only judge in the two panels who was unwilling to even assume illegal immigrants or any non-citizen can enjoy the Second Amendment protections. And he said, Second Amendment is an enshrined right for American citizens, and this group of right holders excludes illegal aliens who do not enjoy the privileges or the responsibilities of American citizenship, therefore cannot be part of the people. And this is historically clear, and only American citizens are part of the people in the Bill of Rights and can own firearms.
So, JC, any word on, and this is something we've talked about here, about the ones who have immigration visas or any of that in between?
And, of course, that is to come. They're going to be people. So this is the first level of the panel. They can appeal it again to the full en bloc. If they do that, then the next step would be the Supreme Court. But
it's just, we've said it many times, it's just how it is today, whether we agree or don't agree with whether someone here on an immigrant visa should own a firearm. The way the process is today isn't right, and that is because they can own a firearm today if they have a hunting license. So you start to go down that path. Okay, if they're here for hunting, they should be able to buy a shotgun and a rifle. But it doesn't stipulate that. Right. It says if you have a hunting license, you can come in and buy a Glock. You can come in and buy a Smith & Wesson or an FN. That's the intent of that. Can't be like that, and that's why we don't do it. Because I'm not selling something to someone because they have a hunting license and then they slip it in that I'm buying a handgun.
We fully agree. Yeah, who's going to be hunting with a short barrel?
Right, it's truly a loophole in the system.
And it is, and that has to be corrected. So, well, we're going to be talking about this when our good friend Senator Husted comes on, but the DOJ has opened a new Second Amendment division. We've heard that it's coming. Well, now it's open, and it promises a lot more action to safeguard our rights. So this is a landmark accomplishment of President Donald Trump. He signed the executive order on the Second Amendment. And the U.S. Department of Justice has announced the creation of a new section under its Civil Rights Division. It's the first ever dedicated to protecting the right to keep and bear arms. It is simply this: it's the Second Amendment section, and it's right now there's an acting chief, Andrew Darlington, but he said that that this whole purpose of this is to secure the natural firearms rights of law-abiding American citizens. So he said in this section, here's his mission statement. One, to ensure that law-abiding American citizens may responsibly possess, carry, and use firearms. Two, they want to investigate enforcement agencies that engage in a pattern and practice of infringing on law-abiding citizens' Second Amendment rights. As well to be proactive in searching litigation opportunities against these departments. They will also seek opportunities to advance the broad interpretation of the Second Amendment via statements, motions to intervene, amicus briefs, and original lawsuits. So the attorneys, this is part of their mission statement. All attorneys in the Second Amendment section will advocate with zeal, it says, on behalf of the Second Amendment and the citizens of the United States. So we're really excited about that. And if you have a chance to watch this video, because this person happens to be very hot, the Assistant Attorney General who leads the Civil Rights Division is Hamit Daron, and she said that she's been working to make the Second Amendment section a reality since she's arrived at the Department of Justice, and she said she affirmed her belief the Second Amendment is not a second-class right, but she is going to do her part. And she wants to. In fact, they started already. They've just have now filed a suit.
I saw that.
Yeah, the Virgin Islands, which you go what? But when you read about it, that's a really corrupt area. So anyway, so there we go. Oh, the other thing she said, she expressed her support of a national reciprocity law. She thinks it's time for that to happen, and she thinks that's one of our civil rights.
Wow. Great. JC, before we go into a break, real quick, big news this week on the marijuana front. President Trump signed an executive order that changed the scheduling of marijuana from a Schedule 1 to a Schedule 3.
Down to a 3. It lessens the...
Does that affect how that plays out in the gun ownership?
No. That's a very short answer. It is still under the act of illegal drugs, but it reduces it to what they said was like Tylenol with codeine or a couple of the other things. But you can still, if you are a user of marijuana, just like it says on the form, not going to change our 4473, it's going to be illegal to possess ammunition or firearms if you are using marijuana, period. So,
and did you see furthermore, and this comes into play here a lot, furthermore it says if you know or have reason to believe that someone is a user of marijuana, then you cannot allow them to, you can't sell them a gun, you can't sell them ammunition.
Right.
But that comes into play here. We get these groups coming in, and if they get kicked out of this store, we know who they are, we cannot allow them back in because they are a user. I mean, they appear to be. I mean, we
and it's a federal offense. We could lose our license. They could technically shut us down if it
comes back and they say, "Hey, look, you knew they came in," and now of course you could argue that just the mere smell of it doesn't mean that person was using it. I got it, but that's a risk that we can't take here with the business. So
exactly. So yeah.
There you go.
That remains the same.
JC, let's jump to a break. On the other side, we have our good friend Caleb from Infitac talking about a new product that is super neat that you're going to want to hear about. On Target, broadcasting live from the studios of LEPD Firearms Range. We'll be back after the break.
What happened in September?
So this is
that's good.
But they're also going to change the form, so you can now also on Form 4, you can also do that electronically now as a.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yep.
So allowing. So it's now going to be an e-form. The big thing is they're shutting it down for a week.
Right.
So
let's talk about that on the back side. Well, after Husted, that last segment.
It's going to be like what they're trying to do at Home Depot. They're going to have big lines of people, and but they're all going to be buying suppressors once there's a no tax coming up. So they are getting ready for it. So, and then also Supreme Court just they turned away both challenges. To the short-barreled rifle aspect of it.
Here, JC, you can see
quick things.
So this is what he's going to be talking about. And that is mounted on that there.
I saw
Have you played with it yet?
Ooh. No.
I don't know if this one, maybe this, no, that has a battery in it, I think. I think it's all touch screen. Let me see.
Maybe we could ask him, hey, how do you turn this thing on?
All right. No. I don't know if this one has a battery in it. I forget.
30 seconds.
30 seconds. 30 seconds to figure this out.
Oh, there we go. So it's coming up there.
See, our audience, you can just say, we are hot. We look hot. And yes, there you are, looking hot. So this is really good. It is amazing. You got hot elbows right there. Yeah. Hot hands. This is really clear.
All right. Here we go. Your ABC6 first warning weather for today. Sun and clouds, high of 45. Not too bad for the week of Christmas. Tonight, mostly cloudy skies. Gets down to a low of 27. For Sunday, mostly sunny skies, high of 33. Currently 36 degrees on your severe weather station. News Radio 610 WTVN.
News Radio 610 WTVN. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle
I know. I'm telling you, it's neat. I've been horsing around with it. It's been in my office for a while now. Welcome back on Target. I'm your host, Eric. Joined today is JC and me. Yeah, we're not down at the protest. We're here where we always are, JC. I guess if you protest, can you have a job too? Because I can't. I wouldn't have time in my schedule to protest. Maybe
some of these people are getting paid to do this.
Oh, maybe so.
It seems that Soros and Bloomberg seem to have a ability to hire people to go out and.
Welcome back to On Target. I am your host, Eric, with JC. We have a good friend of ours on with us now from a company called Infitac, and you might not have heard of them. We've mentioned it a few times on air, but we really didn't do it justice. So we thought we'd bring him on, talk about the company. We're actually playing with them right now. It is super neat. Something that you might, there's still time to get it under the Christmas tree, JC. But at this time, we want to welcome Caleb to the show. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. How are you guys doing?
You know what? We're good. We're having fun. We have a couple of your products sitting up here playing. We're getting ready to pass one around to the audience. It is really neat.
Awesome. I love to hear it. I love that you love the product, man.
Yeah. So talk about, for some of the people in our listening audience and our studio audience here who don't know the company, don't know the inspiration behind the product, talk a little bit about that.
Okay. So we did announce the bringing of this pistol-sized thermal dot at SHOT Show last year, and we've been on the market since October of last year, so we've been on the market a little bit over a year now. The idea behind the brand is we wanted to make a small, tactical-focused thermal that is pistol-capable, but you can also mount it on rifles as a dedicated or an offset unit. It is about the size of a standard enclosed pistol dot. It's RMR footprint out of the box. It's a 256 thermal sensor with a 13mm objective lens. You have a 60 hertz refresh rate, 4 different color palettes from a swipe on a touchscreen with 3 different reticle sizes and 4 different colors. You can pinch to zoom in and out. It's recoil rated all the way up to 50 BMG. I've tested it myself on a Star 17S full auto for a full firing schedule. So it's a very robust, tiny unit that we have here.
Wow, it's impressive, Caleb. It's just, I have a kind of a large handheld that I use on duty and stuff. This is a game changer, and I know you and I had talked before. I mean, it initially was meant to maybe go on a pistol. The application that I see is on a rifle, like on maybe a 45-degree angle mount. I mean, is that what you're seeing a lot of the sales going to?
Yes. So being tactical focused, I've noticed a lot of the people are using a 45 offset on a rifle. Most of your pistol use case might be for like small varmint or target shooting or something like that. But where we see the real use case, especially for law enforcement agencies and those tactical users, is 45 offset on a rifle, canted, just so you have a backup. You have thermal capability, and then you still have your standard day scope on your rifle. And I've even had a lot of PDs recently that have been picking it up, not even for rifle mounting. They've just been giving it to their units and having them in their pockets just so they have a scanning thermal capability.
Yeah, and if just for a size comparison, it's about the size of an aim-point acro.
Yeah, it is small.
And the thing that's amazing to me, and I've had one in my office now for a while, it just works. I mean, the touchscreen works. The zooming in by doing it. It just works, and
it's very impressive. I mean, it really is. It's incredible, and the fact that it'll withstand a 50 BMG, that's a lot of recoil there.
When I first got the offer for this position, I had them send me one out, and I told them I was going to try to break it, and I still have that unit and demo it every day. I couldn't.
Really?
Well, I definitely put it through its paces.
I don't have it right in front of me, but talk about what's the price break on these?
So the current map on this unit is $749.
That's incredible.
That's really what this is. That really is.
At the moment, I believe we're the most affordable 256 thermal sensor on the market.
Wow.
And that's between binoculars and sights.
And the longevity of it, the warranties, what does that look like?
So it comes with a standard 3-year limited warranty on any manufacturing stuff, but pretty much as long as you don't try to break it, we're going to cover it under warranty. You get an extra 6 months if you register it, and then if you do expire your warranty, we will always fix it and repair it for a small fee.
So I'm just saying, I'm just passing along the word. I hate to hit you up with this on live radio and stuff, but the guys around the counter said if you would send us each one, they'd really talk highly. I'm just saying. Wait, and the studio audience chimed in on that too.
Everybody wants one.
It's only about 10 of us.
See what I can do.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, this is really impressive.
Christmas is, around the corner and stuff. So certainly personal protection applications, hunting applications, law enforcement. I mean, there's really a lot of different. And
there's endless capabilities with this mini unit, and that's our goal. So it might be more focused for the defense user or a LE application, but it still has a 300-yard detection range with 125 PID. So that's more than enough for most thermal hunting as well.
Wow. Any new products coming out on the horizon?
Yeah, so we actually did just release the new addition to the Fast Mini lineup today. Is the first day it goes on market. It's the FML-19. It's a 384 sensor with a 19-millimeter objective, so you get about 50% increased detection range and PID out of that unit.
What's the size?
And map on that one will be 1099.
Wow, and a little bit bigger or same size?
No, it's the same housing, just a larger objective lens. Yes, sir.
Wow.
Well, I might need one of those, Caleb. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. we can get you out one of those.
That's great. No, well, I appreciate you jumping on kind of last minute here, short notice, but we've been showing it around here a lot in the store, and we thought it was worthwhile for you to jump on, talk the nuts and bolts of it, and it's a great product.
Incredible.
I appreciate it. I love hearing good things about it.
Yeah. Well, stay safe this week. Merry Christmas, and we'll have you back on maybe after SHOT Show or something to talk about anything else coming out.
That sounds awesome. We have a few more things coming out of SHOT Show, so I'd love to talk to you then.
Sounds great.
Looking forward to it.
Yep. Caleb Wells from Infitac. It is a great company, a great product.
I mean, it just feels so solid, like a small brick.
It feels like an acro aim point, an aim point acro. So, guys, let's jump to the break, because on the other side, Senator Husted joins us. We're on talking broadcasting live from the studios of LAPD Firearms and Range. We'll be back after the break.
I was in foot pain for.
So this is a zoom?
Yeah, because look. So if you're looking like that,
it's not wake and shake though, right?
You pinch it. So watch the zoom.
Spread it out. Oh, there.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. It's not a wake and shake, right? You have to actually turn it on.
Yeah, you turn on. Yep.
Yeah. But boy, for a
ever so slightly. Well, no, not very much. Yeah. Yep.
Pretty much just your brush.
Probably, yeah. But it's so distinct. I mean,
it's very distinct, and I like that reticle. It's either that's my kind of reticle with a circle with a fine dot in it, so you can use it for target shooting. But
all right.
Wow.
Ella, did you buy us one of these for Christmas?
Yep.
You were supposed to hold out and say we had to wait.
She said she'd buy one. All right.
It's in the mail. I don't even know what you're talking about.
Well,
that's disappointing.
Well, if you buy one for us, then we'll talk to Santa to see if we can take you off that naughty list.
She wanted to, we determined she wanted to be on the naughty list.
I know.
I'm staying there.
Yeah. I'll tell you, Santa's sending me the details. That's what I've been waiting for.
I don't know
what's going on here, Santa.
I have this pure thought list of Ella. I don't want to be clouded by that.
No, I saw her picture. She's a beautiful woman. She's just gorgeous. So,
what picture are you looking at?
Oh, the pictures. She was into acting.
Question. Yeah, what picture was that?
Well, you were in a play or doing the acting thing, and I looked you up.
Well, you've been stalking? The kids call that like stalking, John.
No, Santa does the stalking.
Okay.
So I don't do that.
If he was stalking me, he'd know why I'm on the naughty list. Wouldn't have to ask Santa.
Well, now you're going to make me look.
See, now he's going to look.
Hey, how was open phones today, Ella?
Did you hear anything?
No, but the listening audience said they did. You might have to tell me after we're off.
You might
live.
have to listen to the podcast.
Maybe you need to send me that link.
I have a feeling, I'm pretty sure Boots is not coming back, and he knew he wasn't coming back, so he decided to let loose today.
Oh, seriously? On open phones? So there's an open spot on open phones, you're saying?
Yeah.
Come on, it's the E&E show. Come on, Ella, let's do it.
I don't care, come on in.
All right. Can I do it from here?
Yeah, I guess.
All right. Do I have to wake up early?
Yeah.
Yeah. 5 a.m.? Yeah. All right, maybe we'll do that, Ella.
Get some extra magazines for this.
Are you ever going to get these commercials out or no?
5 seconds.
5 seconds.
Here we go.
Search Shell Game and listen now.
Live from LAPD Firearms Range and Training Facility, this is On Target, the latest from the firearms industry, the products and politics that affect your hobby and liberty. This program may not be politically correct, but it is On Target. Now, your host, Eric Delbert.
Welcome back to On Target. I'm your host, Eric, joined today in the LAPD studio. This is JC and I. Big Ed is in a tree somewhere, according to the rumors I hear out there. Papa's long gone. He gets it set up, and he is out of here. Guys, our next guest has been on, actually too many times to count. Little disappointed, though, because I haven't seen him in a long time. I don't know if he just doesn't like us anymore or what, JC.
No, but yeah, sometimes I guess senators can be busy people. So
well, apparently so.
Country.
But we want to welcome back to the show our good friend, Senator John Husted. How are you, sir?
Man, guys, you're killing me. I wish I wasn't having to spend so much time in Washington, but that's my job now.
Yeah, we hear that. We kind of miss seeing you around the store and on the range, but I feel like you're speaking to us every time I see you on the news.
Yeah, well, it's great to be with you today, and yeah, it'd be great to be over there with you guys. But yeah, back in Ohio, getting ready to celebrate the Christmas holiday with my family, trying to catch up on all my late Christmas shopping, which I'm pathetic at anyway, so, I'll do my best.
Well, we can help you here, but hey, I don't want to jump into something too deep right off the bat, but I've had listeners ask, I've had the studio audience ask, Senator, I think even my mom has asked, did you get a deer yet?
So, the answer to that is yes. But it wasn't mine, it was my daughter's. My daughter, my middle daughter, and we go hunting every year, and it's always more fun for me when she gets the deer than I do. But we had, by the way, if you just want to get a deer, quickly go hunting, get a deer, and just your season's over, take my daughter, Katie, because she is the most fortunate hunter I ever have hunted with. I think we were in the tree stand for an hour and a half and had our deer for the year. So our deer season lasted an hour and a half. The first half an hour she was awake and talking with me. She fell asleep on my shoulder for the second half hour. And then the third half hour, we see a deer off in the distance, about 200 yards away, headed the wrong direction. We get the antlers out, we rattle a little bit. It starts coming at us at a decent walk with its nose to the ground. And 15 yards away, we finally got it stopped, and she, took the shot with the crossbow, and we had an 8-point buck. And her season at least is over. I may try to get back out, and see if I can get one, but that's great fun. Anytime you get to spend time with your kids is great.
Well, in the tradition, I mean that's a lost thing sometimes, passing those traditions on to the next generation. So it's so good to hear that. I think last year when you called in, I think it was about the same time, and I could have swore I think you were literally just out of a deer stand and had just got one, if I remember correctly.
I think that's right. Yeah, I got a 9-point buck last year, and in the morning on a Saturday, this is the good news, morning on a Saturday, right? So then you have all day to get it to the processor, and, rather than getting one of those that you get, like a lot of times you get them late in the evening, right before the sun goes down, and you're processing it in the field in the dark, and you have to do that.
Cold.
And it's good when you can get one in the morning, you can get it all in the light.
Yeah, definitely.
That's incredible.
So I was talking to Senator John Husted. How is Senator's life? I mean, what is that like now? How has your life changed this last year?
Well, as you know, I was not planning on being a senator. I was lieutenant governor, and then all of a sudden JD gets elected vice president, and Vice President Vance, we now get to call him rather than just JD. And it is, Governor DeWine had to make an appointment, and I wasn't necessarily looking to be the senator, but you had to find somebody that President Trump and Governor DeWine could agree on, and that ended up being me. So I learned this on a Thursday. We announced it on a Friday. I get on a plane to Washington on a Saturday. Inauguration's on a Monday. Presidential inauguration's on a Monday. I get sworn in on a Tuesday. I didn't have a phone number, an email address, a staff person, nothing. They'd start from scratch. And
maybe you would like to have that no phone.
We built it out
at times.
Wow.
So, that's how quickly it happens. Life changes. I didn't even get to go back to my lieutenant governor's office. We announced it. I went home and packed, and off I went, and they, sent my stuff later. Right? So I didn't. It was.
That's incredible.
It was a quick change for us.
Wow. And now we're in the throes of an election year coming up. I'm fortunate enough to be a part of some of those weekly calls on your team. But it's a big year. I mean, Sherrod Brown threw his hat back in the ring. I mean, this is a very, very big year, not just for you, but for the country.
Yeah, it's a big year for the country. It's who will control the U.S. Senate. Yes, Sherrod Brown is coming back to run again. He lost to Bernie Moreno last year by 200,000 votes. Has been in office for 50 years, 32 of them in Washington, and
that's all he's ever done.
Decided that after all that, he still wants to try to convince the voters to bring him back, and we'll see what verdict they'll render next year, because we'll run a great campaign. We're clearly different people as candidates. He has different values than I have. I believe I have Ohio values. I believe he has Washington values.
There you go.
We'll see what the people of Ohio render as their verdict next year.
And you know what? Something that I've found interesting being on these calls every week is that you're picking up more and more endorsements of groups that personally I would think have otherwise historically gone to the other side, and a lot of those being labor. I think Border Patrol endorsed you here recently, and that's refreshing. It's refreshing to hear some of these historically, I guess, left-leaning organizations come out and say, you know what, I'm voting for the values, the Ohio values, and so that's been good to hear.
Yeah, well, we've had several, construction trades. The people who work in the union people that work in the private sector, right? They have private sector employers, but they have unionized workforces, and a lot of those folks are supporting me. Why? Because they understand that you got to grow the economy. If their employer is not doing well, if they don't have business, then they don't have jobs. And so a lot of those folks are supporting us, because in my work as lieutenant governor, I work with all of them to help grow the economy, bring manufacturing back to Ohio, back to the United States. That's what we need to do. We got to put those folks to work, and so they support me. And yeah, of course, I never had to talk with the Border Patrol before, right? That union, because we don't have much of a presence, in Ohio. But their lives are in danger in enforcing the rules of the border. When it was a free for all, people from all over the globe were trying to invade America through the southern border and putting the lives of those individuals in jeopardy. And now that there's a zero tolerance policy for that, you don't even see people trying anymore. There's almost nobody coming across the southern border anymore, even though there's 15 million people under Joe Biden. Why? Because the word is out. Don't waste your time. You're not going to be able to come in. And so to have those folks supporting me is important for me as well.
And, we're talking to Senator Husted. Senator, the other thing, too, that I think we all gravitate towards things that are important to you when you're looking at elections. And for us, I think what rises to the top is law and order, Second Amendment. And when you look at yourself versus, in this case, Sherrod Brown, there's a stark difference. I mean, it is night and day. This isn't just a little disagreement on policy and how you go about. This is a fundamental difference, and we need to make sure that the law and order people and the Second Amendment folks recognize that and get out to vote. I mean, that's so important, and that's why I wanted to be a part of your team going forward this year, just is to make sure people knew that.
Well, no doubt about that. It's pretty stunning when you look at the contrast. When you have somebody in Sherrod Brown that comes from the wing of the Democratic Party that is defund the police, eliminating qualified immunity for police officers, which protects them from lawsuits and prosecutions, all of those kinds of things as they're doing their jobs. When you see those kinds of contrasts between the two, it's pretty easy. You know, I say this, like, you just need to follow the law and enforce the rule of law, because you see this around the country. Cities and states that don't enforce the law, you know who that affects? It affects law-abiding citizens.
Yep.
And you know what law-abiding citizens do when you don't protect them? They leave. They leave your city. They move out. They take people won't invest in your city anymore. And then you have this slow economic decline that occurs when you refuse to enforce the rule of law. You see it happen in big cities around the country. You know, Chicago's got it happening to it right now. Big, huge, prosperous city, but it's slowly leaking all of these people, all of their talent, all of the investment, because they won't enforce the rule of law, particularly when you have people who are living there illegally, who commit crimes, who bring drugs, and all of that. We just simply need to enforce the rule of law. If you're, by the way, if you immigrate to this country legally and you follow the rules, we embrace you. You embrace
100%.
American values, we embrace you. We love that. But you can't break the rules. You can't come here illegally and expect that somehow you should be given some exception.
100%, 100%. On a lighter note, Senator, what's been your biggest surprise as a senator? I mean, seeing behind the curtain, has there been some aha moments? Are there been people that you know, maybe had a thought about going into it, and you've met them and worked with them now, and you're like, wow, good or bad about these people?
Well, you know what? There's a bunch of people that are just really good people. And I'll focus on the good ones, like Leader John Thune, the Senate Majority Leader, just a good man. He's an honest man. He is a God-fearing man, and I enjoy working with him. Senator Tim Scott, same way. Just a wonderful person. You know, and then you have some people that are just entertaining to work with, like Senator John Kennedy from Louisiana and Lindsey Graham from South Carolina. They're funny. They got great sense of humor. And then you have some true patriots like Tim Sheehy, who is a Navy SEAL who represents Montana. Tim has, you know, fought in combat in many deployments to serve our country, and he's the youngest Republican in the U.S. Senate. And, you know, so it's an honor to serve with people like that are good people, that are fun to be around, and that are true patriots.
Wow. As I don't want to take up too much of your time here this Sunday, especially when you have Christmas shopping to do, or the Saturday before Christmas. What in your thoughts now, knowing what you know, what's the biggest threat to democracy for us going forward? I mean, what is it? What do you see that you're concerned about?
Well, first of all, I'd say it's two things. First of all, forgetting what American values are all about. Hard work, personal responsibility, family, faith, freedom, and allowing, whether it's you know, a woke revision of history or an erosion to those values, to seed into our young people and to our American culture, that is a terrible threat to the future of our country.
Yep.
And so our value system and our virtues and the foundations of America need to be upheld and respected. That's one. And then two, the national debt. We cannot continue to spend like we have as a nation, $38 trillion in national debt. Eventually, by the way, we're a country that for most of its history sacrificed for future generations. But starting around in the 1960s, generations of Americans began to take from future generations through debt. That's got to end. That's why I proposed a balanced budget amendment to try to stop those. So our culture, preserve our culture and American values, stand for them, fight for them, and also restoring fiscal discipline so we're not burdening future generations with debt. Those are the two things that I think are most important that we tackle as American citizens and as leaders.
No, I mean, I would so agree with that, John. I just hope that you can infect some of the Democratic folks with those kind of value issues, because it's just, you know, we really worry. I mean, we worry about the future of America, worry about our kids, to your daughter, all the rest, if this doesn't get straightened out, and the debt and following the rule of law. I mean, how do you respect that when the Democrats, I mean, yeah, we used to have the Rust Belt. Now we're having the Dem Belt where people are leaving the Democratic states coming over. But they just have just dropped the ball. It's just not like the Democrats before, where you could disagree, but you had idea, you could work together. It's just so radical. It's unbelievable. So I don't know how we adjust.
Well, it's because the coastal elites run the show for the Democrats. And think about this. I mean, Democrats in the 1980s, you can go back and look at the video of people like Chuck Schumer and Joe Biden who talk about the rule of law and talk about protecting our border and stopping fraud in our social service system and balancing they all were saying those things back then, but now what do they say? Open borders. Men play women's sports. Spend. Yep. It's not the Democratic Party that it was. And people and those values are not Ohio values, and that's the stuff. It's like if there's one thing that I love about the job is that I get the honor to be one of Ohio's 2 U.S. senators, along with Bernie Moreno, to get to go there and fight for Ohio values all the time.
Yep.
And even when I get frustrated in the short time that I've been there, it's like, you just gotta be tough. You gotta stick in there. You gotta be, you gotta be resilient and keep fighting for the things that you believe in.
Yep, absolutely, 100%. Well, we're not going to keep you any longer. I hope you and your family have a great Christmas. Hope you get your Christmas shopping done. And be safe out there in this crazy world. And we hope to see you back here at the store soon.
And enjoy that venison.
Hey, thank you. Merry Christmas, and remember this. In the Happy New Year, this New Year we're about to celebrate is our 250th anniversary as a nation. So be a patriot next year. Don't give up. Keep fighting for those values that we all hold dear.
Absolutely. Thank you so
Amen.
much for calling in, Senator, and we'll talk to you here soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Senator John Husted, friend of the show, personal friend of the store.
And he spells his first name correctly.
Guys, let's jump to a break. When we come back on the other side, we'll get to a couple of last pieces of news and a little bit more. We're all talking about broadcasting live from the studios of LAPD Firearms and Range. We'll be back after the break.
When you're shopping...
Is that on?
So, I wonder if it's...
VPJD. Isn't that amazing, though? I mean, that can happen that quickly. That's something you would like see in a movie or something that, you get the call on Thursday, and then Friday you're there, Saturday you're getting there, you're sworn in on Monday. It just or Tuesday, whichever day that was. But anyway, within a 5-day period of time, didn't even get to clean out his lieutenant governor's office. So, and they hunt with a crossbow. I thought they were shotgunners, but that's pretty good. What'd you think of that? Isn't that nice? I mean, I didn't do the zoom in part, but yeah, you can. When you did the zoom in, it was just took one whole face and covered it in.
20 seconds.
Yeah.
Ten.
Copy.
5.
How about now?
1.
Your ABC 6 first warning weather for today. Sun and clouds, high of 45 tonight. Mostly cloudy skies, low down to 27. For Sunday, mostly sunny skies, back up to 33. Currently 38 degrees on your severe weather station. News Radio 610 WTVN.
News Radio 610 WTVN.
Have a holly jolly Christmas. It's the best time of the year. Now I don't know if there'll be snow, but
sounds like an old one, Jason.
Yeah, it is.
Have a holly
your era.
jolly
Yeah,
Christmas.
I like that cup of cheer
And
part.
when you walk down the street,
Maybe even a bottle of cheer.
Welcome back to On Target. I'm your host, Eric. Joined today in the LAPD studios, JC and I up here talking to some of our friends, Caleb from Infitac, and of course our good friend Senator John Husted calling in. Always good to hear from them. from him. JC, I know you had a couple other quick news things that we have time for.
These are short. Yeah, these are, but they're important. All right. This one will affect a lot of people. So guess what? The ATF is actually shutting down their electronic processing. Why? Because it's going to shut down on December 26th. It'll open back up on January 2nd because they're expecting a deluge of people once now we have $0 cost to get your suppressor. So many people have been holding off on turning in the forms, so they need they call it administrative pause to get ready for this. The other part of that is on the Form 4, which you had to do manually before. Now they're changing it so you can also submit Form 4 applications through the eForm system. So it'll be up and running, and we're happy about that. Save $200. The Supreme Court this week, on Monday, is when they review their cases, did not grant cert to any Second Amendment cases. As a matter of fact, they denied cert on two cases. There were a couple of challenges to the National Firearms Act restrictions where people said, hey, we're not paying anything anymore. There's no real reason to have it. And they just denied cert on it and passed it on. Another was a Pennsylvania father who was trying to revive a lawsuit against the gun manufacturers and the gun seller because of a death of his son by a third party. They just denied cert on that, so that may be a dead issue in the future. But they are still keeping a hold of the challenges, and this is really surprising me they haven't done this yet, the challenges to state-level gun and magazine bans. Now, there's like 4 or 5 states. You can't, the most popular gun in the United States, as an AR platform, whether it's a pistol or whether it's a rifle, and there are states that said, nope, you can't possess it. You can't even have it in the state. I mean, it's not like your grandfathered in. You can't have it. That, I think, it's got to be coming to the forefront. That's just, it affects millions of people. So anyway, so that's a couple of things that are coming up in the future, and we will keep you apprised of all of that. And again, the good work that they've jumped in already with the Second Amendment, as I mentioned, I don't know if you caught it, but they're already suing the Virgin Islands. Apparently, people get off the ship, it's all great, it's all wonderful, and they get back on the ship, and at nighttime, they said it's one of the most dangerous places in the world. And
where at?
The Virgin Islands.
Really?
They said it's all controlled by this group called it's a horrible group. If you have a gun in the Virgin Islands, it's a minimum 10-year prison sentence on the first offense. 10-year. Well, of the shootings that they've had, there have been 88 killings, murders, done by the police department. And of those 88, 65 of them were unarmed people and they said it's just all controlled. Yet they said this group, this communion, which is a mob group, they said they have Stens, they have AK-47s, they have full. And they leave those guys alone, but they want the tourists there in the day. But at nighttime, they said it's one of the most dangerous places in the world.
Maybe we need to cut them free.
Well, that would be good.
Guys, I can't believe the whole hour is gone by again here. I can't believe it is Christmas week. Still a lot of sales going on here at the store. If you need last-minute Christmas shopping, certainly stop by and stuff. But this week, take a moment this week. Remember that the true meaning behind the holiday season is not about buying gifts. Take time to be with the family. Take time to pass on the traditions to the next generation. And this week, be safe, be alert. Merry Christmas. We'll see you back here next week.
Merry Christmas.
Let's be careful out there.
Number 1 on your car radio preset and the new and improved iHeartRadio app. Say 610 WTVN Columbus on your presets. Free. Never sounded so good.
Hi, it's Lita, your friend at Columbus Mobility Specialist. Life's full of challenges, especially if you're dealing with the physical one. We're all about making life easier for you, like new and used accessible vans, home stair lifts, and scooters designed to fit your lifestyle. We are a custom fabrication shop, and your independence is just a phone call away at 614-825-8996 or visit columbusmobility.com. Columbus Mobility Specialist. Solutions to make your life easier.
Living in a world of disease, discord, and strife causes us to pray for
I'm
Jesus.
ready whenever you are, Ella.
Granted, the angel's message for peace
You ready already?
and goodwill towards all is not common in 2025.
I know you're always
But at
ready.
Zion Lutheran
Okay, here we
Church,
go.
we are celebrating God's gift of peace through His Son Jesus.
This is Eric from
Worship
Target.
with us
This
on
week,
Christmas Eve at
holsters
4
for wintertime
p.m. or at
carry,
6
and the
p.m.
gun of the week is
And on
sponsored by
Christmas
Jackson
Day
Egress
at
Windows.
9:30
Get it right here
at
Saturday at noon or
766
live from
South High
LAPD
Street,
Studios on
Columbus,
Bethel
Ohio.
Road.
For more information on our Christmas service,
Tune in
or any
tomorrow
of
at
our
noon or
services,
live from LAPD
please visit
Studios on Bethel Road.
zionlcms.org. The holidays